We are starting second unit here. Okay, so the second unit is related with convergent sequence and a complete matrix space. So let us start with the definition of convergent sequence. Definition of convergent sequence and several examples. Okay, we have already seen in first year BSc, second year BSc. But see, today we are going to discuss convergent sequence in a metric space XD. Okay, so here we consider a metric space, and in first year and second year we have considered real, okay, set of real numbers or R2 and R3. So see, concept is same basically, just way of writing in a metric space XD, it is different. So sequence, suppose XD be a metric space and Xn be a sequence, okay, Xn be a sequence, and Xn sequence converges to X0. So that means if I draw a diagram, it will be like this. So X1, X2, these are points of sequence, X3, X4, all these points are moving towards a single point X0. Getting? Then we say a sequence Xn is converges to X0. Convergence means those points are approaching, they are moving towards X0. Okay, so then we say the sequence is converges to X0. So the mathematical definition is same as the definition which you have already seen in set of real numbers. So that means sequence Xn converges to X0 if for given epsilon greater than 0, right, there exists n belongs to set of natural numbers such that d of Xn X0 less than epsilon for all n greater than or equal to capital N. Okay, so see, instead of real numbers we write mod here, but in a metric space we write d. This is the only difference, remaining definition is same. Okay, so see, let us see how we can write it in another way. Okay, so that is what we are writing. D means distance. Distance between Xn and X0 is less than epsilon. Epsilon means a very small real number. So distance between Xn and X0 is less than epsilon. That means distance is very small. That means Xn belongs to open ball with center X0 radius epsilon. Getting now? Distance between these 2 points is less than epsilon. That means Xn lies in open ball having center X0 and radius epsilon. And this is true for again n greater than or equal to capital N. So that means if I draw a ball around X0 with radius epsilon, getting? So after some points, after suppose X5 will be here, suppose X6 is here, getting? And here we will have Xn minus 1, Xn minus 1. But see, from Xn, all remaining elements will lie inside this open ball. Xn, Xn plus 1, Xn plus 2, Xn plus 3, all infinite elements are lying inside a open ball with center X0 and radius epsilon. See, this same thing we can write in this way. We write it as we write sequence Xn converges to X0. We write in this way. Okay, so it means sequence Xn converges to X0, or that is we can write limit n tends to infinity Xn is equal to X0. It has a same meaning. Okay, so make a screenshot of it. After that we will discuss one result. Let us discuss this result. So this result says if we have any convergent sequence, then it has a unique limit. That means only one limit. So let us prove it. So I have considered here, let XD be a matrix space, Xn be any convergent sequence, and our target is to prove that sequence Xn has unique limit. So see, in mathematics, when we wish to prove anything, we assume exactly opposite to that and we solve it. After solving few steps, we get contradiction, and then we declare our assumption is wrong. So that's why we get the result. Here also I will do the same. So I'm assuming here, let if possible sequence Xn, okay, sequence Xn has two distinct limits, okay, two distinct limits. So I'm assuming it has two distinct limits. We will call them as, say, we'll call them as X and Y. Suppose X and Y, these are two distinct limits of sequence Xn. That means Xn converges to X as well as Xn converges to Y. And the important word is distinct. These are different. So therefore, X is not equal to Y. So x is not equal to y. We have a two distinct points. So definitely there is some non-zero distance between them. So therefore distance between x and y is greater than 0. I will call it as epsilon. Let epsilon is equal to distance between x and y, and obviously it is greater than 0 we have got. Okay, so let us start with the information which we have. We have sequence xn converges to x. So we have assumed it has two limits, x and y. That means sequence xn converges to x as well as sequence xn converges to y. So out of that I am assuming one thing, xn converges to x. Let us use the definition. Therefore, for given epsilon, but epsilon already we have assumed, so I will write for above epsilon, okay, greater than 0, there exists n belongs to set of natural number such that by definition we can write d of xn x less than epsilon for all n greater than or equal to capital N. See, I am going to do a small adjustment. Instead of epsilon, I will write epsilon by 2, as well as I will call it as n1. Okay, and this is equation number or statement number 1. As well as we have one more information. Our sequence xn converges to y also. We have xn converges to y. This is our assumption, since we have already assumed it has two distinct limits. So again we can use definition. So by definition, therefore, for above epsilon again greater than 0, there exists n2 belongs to set of natural number such that d of x and y less than epsilon for all n greater than or equal to n2. This is statement number 2. I am doing adjustment again. Instead of epsilon, I will write epsilon by 2. See, now statement 1 is true for n1, 2 is true for n2. So I will assume maximum of n1 and n2. So both will be true simultaneously. I will do it, make a screenshot of it, then we will go further. See, here I have assumed n is equal to maximum of n1 and n2. Then 1 and 2 will be true, okay, for this n. So let us go further. So I am going to consider epsilon. You remember the definition of epsilon. Definition of epsilon is d of xy. After that, I am going to use triangle inequality. So by triangle inequality, what can we write? This is less than or equal to d of xn plus d of xny. So I will mention by triangle inequality. Okay. See, it is symmetric. So d of xn is same as d of xnx. So this is equal to d of xnx plus d of xny. See, in statement 1 we have proved this is less than epsilon and this is also less than epsilon from 2. So I will mention from 1 and 2. See, sum of epsilon by 2 and epsilon by 2 is 2 epsilon by 2, that means epsilon. So what we get? Epsilon. So therefore epsilon we get strictly less than epsilon. It's not possible, any number cannot be less than itself. So therefore we get a contradiction. I will mention we get contradiction. We get contradiction. So therefore assumption is wrong. Therefore our assumption is wrong. So therefore assumption is wrong. Therefore sequence convergent sequence has a unique limit. So therefore I will mention, therefore every convergent sequence has a unique limit. A very important result we proved here. Okay, so you can make a screenshot of it. After that we will stop. Thank you. Bye bye.